Welcome to Akhand Vidyashram, the first institute of impeccable wisdom, the walking, talking encyclopedia. Ayodhya Shila, the unfolding of hidden wisdom. My mission, the impeccable wisdom, knowing which everything is fully known. My greatest discovery, Divyank, the divine design of nature with which the perfect objects are designed and created. Divyank is the reward of 60 years of integrated education. Impeccable wisdom is enlightening, and integrated knowledge is empowering. Now, let's start with something which seemed quite surprising to me about 4 years back. 4 years back, I happened to see a question in Quora. With respect to this particular picture of a stone carving which was found in the debris of Ayodhya Ramjanmabhumi after Supreme Court's verdict in favor of, you know what it is. But when this was brought to the surface and questions were raised and made this, what is so special about this particular system that ancients designed carving like this, which 13 lotus petals in the center and 29 outside. Their concern was only when both are odd numbers, how these odd numbers could divide 360 circle and have such a perfect thing. And that was only the question which was raised, and I was made to understand that no architect, no scientist, no mathematician was in a position to solve this particular mystery. And it seemed quite surprising that why there's so much hue and cry about something and say nobody is able to resolve this. I did answer a few questions. Anyway, I'll not go into that. Since the question was only 13 and 29 at that particular stage, and I've given the answer that there are a lot of ancient Indian mathematics which go back to Vedas and Upanishads, and Kadashtapata Brahmana can easily be used by taking the rope from the center and can divide anything much more perfectly. Is as simple arithmetic as you can expect. As a matter of fact, divine mathematics as propagated by the ancient Indian sages way back in Vedas and Upanishads is 1,000 times better than what we have man-made mathematics today. I am definitely not in favor of geometry, algebra, algorithms, and all the science and this and that. Whatever is man has created more confusion. There is no impeccable wisdom. Whereas the divine mathematics is simple, the particular one which is found in Vedas and Upanishads, which ancient Indian sages had really conceived by being directly in tune with divine sources. That divine mathematics was learnt by Zoroastrians from Indian Brahmins. They taught it to the West. The Arabs converted that into algorithms and geometry, and then West converted that into theorems and others. In the process, the real beauty of divine mathematics of the ancient Indian wisdom got lost, and what we have today is highly confusing man-made mathematical concepts which do not give any impeccable wisdom or perfection. Everything produced by that is questionable. And my desire had been to find divine mathematics, which is Divyan. And with respect to that, I think I've been able to solve many of the things. Now, at this juncture, that I have said a divine mystery. Now, is this a mystery? Let me say, can you find the divine hidden mathematics in this? Very simple. Let's start with this. Now, before I explain that particular Shila, or the stone carving, I want you to understand few concepts. If you have noticed in that particular original picture, you have one center circle which is surrounded by 7 circles, 1 and 7. So let's first understand what is in 1 by 7. 1 by 7 has always been considered as a divine number, and you see that in pi 22 by 7 is 3 plus 1 by 7. And 1 by 7 has always been considered divine by the ancient Indian sages. That's the reason we go back to Upanishads, which talk about 22 levels or 21 steps of the solar system. We can take and understand there are 21 parts in our solar system. And to go beyond solar system, you have to take 22nd part, and that is Brahmalok or Brahma Granth, which I talked about in the last video. But at the same time, what are these 21 parts of the solar system which the ancient Indian sages were talking about? Number 1, Earth element, Mother Earth, is composed of 7 parts. And what are those 7 parts? Atal-lok, Vital-lok, Sutal-lok, Talatal-lok, Rasatal, Mahatal, and Patal. And these 7 parts have also been recognized by the modern science, as you can see the picture on the left side and the bottom. So Earth has got 7 parts. Antariksh, or the atmosphere, has also got 7 parts. And incidentally, instead of giving 7 names of Antariksh, most of the ancient sages talked about 7 chakras in the human body. And what are those 7 chakras? Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddhi, Ajna, Sahasrara. So 7 plus 7 becomes 14, right up to soles of the feet to the pelvic region are the 7 representation of earth element. From that to Sahasrara, top of the head, you have 7 petals, 7 chakras with number of petals. And on top of that, you have 7 heavens. And when you talk of 7 heavens, ancient Indian gave them the names of Bhurlok, Bhuvarlok, Swarlok, Mahalok, Janalok, Tapalok, and Satyalok. And they could be associated with Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus. These are the major heavenly things which are found in solar system. And to be very precise, Sun, Moon, and Earth have been taken it out because Earth is shown down and Moon can be shown with the second one. And since the source is from Sun, so let's not bring Sun into the planets because it's a presiding deity. So from that angle, 7 of Earth, 7 of atmosphere, 7 planets are 7 heavens put together are 21. I have explained that in the last also. And to go beyond where the blissfulness or Brahmalok, you have to take the 22nd step. So that way, first concept which I want you to understand that particular stone carving is that 7 is very, very important. As in the center one, you see 1, then 7. So I explain that. Similarly, 7 also have been shown. If you look at Lord Brahma's picture, 3 full heads plus 1. And I would say that is also like pi. 3 heads and 1, the other one is 1 by 7. So pi plays an important role. Same thing has been represented in the form of Om in Mandukya Upanishads, where Akara is 7 part, Yukara is 7 part, Makara is 7 part, and Turiya is 1. So there also you find the same thing. But what is more interesting is that in Chandogya Upanishad, Lord Brahma is talking about the self, knowing which everything is fully known. Then the same mathematics of 22 by 21 has been put in a very cryptic form of first 32 years, second 32 years, third 32 years, and last 5 years. Decode that was a challenging job for everybody, but I found it very easy because 32 was equivalent to 7, second 32 also 7, third 32 also 7, and 5 was 1. So that way I have been able to see how why ancient Indian sages were very smart to give behind the knowledge in a cryptic form, so the only people who are in tune with nature could decode and talk about it and make out. So that common man or people who are not in tune with nature, who could destroy the world should not be destroyed. That was the concern of the ancient Indian sages. So this divine mathematics was given in a different forms, and I salute all those sages who have done, including this particular Shila, arc stone carving. So first point is very clear. Center 1, surrounded by 7. The second concept which I want you to understand very clearly is that there is something in the international scenario called 5-on-AC sequence. And 5-on-AC sequence 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 58, 89, and 144. This has been well established and it is called 5-on-AC sequence. But the fact is, these things are seen in trees, branches, leaves, flowers, seeds, fruits of trees, etc. But actual original discovery or contribution of this 5-on-AC sequence goes back to Indians, Pingala, 450 years before Christ. And he called it Misraucha, mean two are mixed together to lead to the third. First and second added together to become third. That's why he called Misraucha. And third number is the sum of the preceding two numbers. I have already explained. Now for revision, let me tell you that. And same concept was explained by Viravankara as variation of earlier 2 meters, Gopala also. But interestingly, explicit examples was given by Leonardo da Vinci's book Label in 2001 AD. But I am glad that he called it Indian series. He did not call it Western series. And he gave an example of idealist rabbit population. But let me also add a new thing which I call Akhand Sutra, written by me, has also seen something. Two odd numbers followed by even number. That is something which I would definitely like you to see. 1, 1 are odd numbers, 2 is even, 3, 5 are odd numbers, and 8 is even number. 13, 21 are odd numbers, 34 is even number. 55, 89 are odd numbers, 144 is. That was also something which I found interesting. That's why I thought, let me put it. But what has been seen by the world, that actually in 5-on-AC sequence, there is hidden golden ratio of 1.618, and that also is seen between 10 and 11 digits only, not before or not later. Is this a mystery? I do not know. But this is something which I want you to understand, that 5-on-AC sequence or Misraucha, or this particular thing which I would call it Divan sequence, would resolve this particular mystery which that particular hidden thing has, stone carving has got. Now let me also tell you, perfect human menstrual cycles around the world, in every book, starting from school, college to the university, even this particular picture on top, the original picture is from British Britannica, and they talk of only 3 phases of menstrual cycle. Bleeding 5 days, proliferation 8 days, then ovulation followed by 13 days of secretory phase. So 5 plus 8 equivalent to 13 is something which everybody talks about. So you can say even the information given by the medical science is that female menstrual cycle, human female menstrual cycle is designed with 5-on-AC sequence or Divan sequence of 5 plus 8 equivalent to 13. So 5, 8, 13 is very clearly mentioned. But I found that information of 5 plus 8 plus 13 adding up to 26 days is not perfect, because human menstrual cycle, in my opinion, derives its name from lunar calendar, and lunar calendar has got 29 and a half days. If it is 29 and a half days, that means we have missed something of 3.5 days, which has not been brought out by all the information in the entire world. So as a single person, I have challenged the entire world. Whatever you are teaching in the form of human menstrual cycle is highly defective. So with the help of Divan Sequence, I've been able to say their real first day of human menstrual cycle does not start with the bleeding. It starts 3 days before the bleeding. First phase could be 3 days, second phase 5 days, third phase 8 days, and ovulation, and fourth could be 13, which I have divided into 8 and 5. So you can see ascending and descending lunar scripture in this particular thing. Now this is something also has helped me to resolve that particular mystery. Now very clear, 1, 7, 13, and here you can see 20, right on top you can see 13. So now I'm sure I've given a clue of 29. Is it a coincidence? Now with the light of this particular information, let's try to resolve the mystery of stone carving Ayodhya Shila, which was got after excavation. Now let us this particular picture. I'm sure the hidden wisdom is very clear. See in the center, you have one white circle and then surrounded by 7 circles. If you go back to the original picture, you can see the same thing. But nobody ever talked about that particular part of this particular Shila, which was right in the center. So whosoever designed this particular stone carving, a Shila, was actually trying to explain divine mathematics. If Pingla is called the one who called it Misra chair, I think this is another way of another dimension of divine design of nature. The center, it is very clear, everything is one. Omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, almighty, universal consciousness is one. And everything is appeared from that. When first one it comes appear from that is into 7 parts. That's why you see light also, rainbow also 7 parts. You see 7 everywhere in 7 days of the week, 7 levels of consciousness, and 7 has been internet. But I am 100% sure that originates from entire wisdom actually originates from Vedas and Upanishads. But unfortunately, it's been hijacked and nobody is giving credit to Vedas and Upanishads for all the wisdom which was given by them. So center part is very clear now. 1 into 7 is what the divine design is. So as I've written, the core design is 1 plus 7 equivalent to 8. Fine. Now the second layer in the middle design has got 13. You can see there are only 13, and I told you in the beginning there are 13. And everybody has written also 13. It's an odd number. Odd number, how could it divide 360? But what the artist is trying to hide in that is 5 plus 8 is 13. 1 plus 7 is 8. 8 to that we have add 5, and that becomes 13. So I'm quite sure 5 and 8 and 13 is Fibonacci sequence or Divan sequence. Now let's go further. Third layer, the outer design has got 29, not 28. So I can definitely say this also reflects what lunar calendar which we are talking about. 29 is the closest to the lunar cycle, as well as menstrual cycle is one part, but that is further divided into phases, ascending and descending phases, from Amavasya to Purnima, Purnima to Amavasya, new moon to the full moon to new moon. If you look at that particular thing, you can definitely say the outer design is composed of 3 plus 5 is 8, plus 8, and then 13 is 29. Is it a mystery which nobody could resolve? which I could just see is just there. 3 plus 5 plus 8 plus 13 is 29. And 3, 5, 8, 13 is Divan sequence, Fibonacci sequence. And lunar calendar is also based on that. Fibonacci sequence is also based on that. Divan sequence is all that. As a result, because of Divan sequence, I've been able to resolve the mystery of perfect menstrual cycle single-handedly, challenge the entire world. Whatever you have been talking about female menstruation is defective. And with the same background and knowledge of Divan sequence of 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 59, 55, 89, 144 goes on. If in that sequence, I think it's very clear. So it is even amazing Fibonacci sequence, Misra or I would say Divan. So from that angle, I'm very happy that what started as just a curiosity for someone to find how did they divide 13 and 29, which are odd numbers, and I think taking the privilege of this to explain in the light of Divan sequence, Divan ratio, and Divan infinity, I think I've been able to enliven the ancient Indian wisdom of divine mathematics, of Vedas and Upanishads, in the light of mathematics, simple arithmetic, and show the world how beautiful was divine mathematics of Vedas and Upanishads. So that way I do feel my life is becoming worth, and these are the contributions which I would say wonderful. So I'm sure this starts a new way of looking at this particular stone image excavated from Ramjanmabhumi in Ayodhya after 2020. I think this. I don't think there is anything to be. I think I'll leave it to the people. Coming to that is then, but at this particular juncture, let me also make a statement. Statement is, yesterday, one of the person commented on my videos, why the hell are you you're speaking in English? Perhaps the person thought that I'm an Indian, I should be speaking Hindi language or any of the Indian languages. And keeping that statement in mind, the only thing which came to my mind is, if you want to, English is no more an English language. It is as much Indian language as any other Indian languages. So I do not consider. But at the same time, English is an international language, universal language, language of the world, and language of the science, language of all progressive thinking. Even Government of India is using it. All the states are using it. So I don't think I need to talk in Hindi, Tamil, or any other Indian languages, this concept, because I definitely want everybody to understand English. Only then you will be able to understand modern mathematics, physics, chemistry, and other laws, and make optimum use of the scientific knowledge which we have, and then correlate with the ancient Indian wisdom and show the world. Because unless until we understand both together in the language which is commonly known, and that is English, I don't think we can make optimum use. And for the convenience of the people who are not very comfortable with the words, they can, of late, put in softwares which can convert into language. But at the same time, I would like them to understand English language in their language and build on the English language. As a matter of fact, from the day one, I have been saying very clearly, in my videos, you're going to see entire Britannica Encyclopedia, entire Oxford Dictionary, and all the words known in English, Sanskrit, Tamil, or other languages. I'm going to use them in such a way that we create a new universal language which is perfect from every angle, including making it designed like that. So, with the due respect, I prefer to talk in English, the language for the entire world, I do not want to make it at a restriction. And then I expect everybody to translate if they are not. But at the same time, my suggestion would be, please understand perfect English grammatically, and otherwise. There are so many soft like Grammarly and other things available. You can learn quite a lot. And I'm converting that to symbolic language also. Unless until you make an effort in understanding concept, you are nothing. At the end of the day, spirituality is not something which God gives you to you in perform. You have to work to understand through these languages only. That's the knowledge is only one which is enlightening and empowering. At that juncture, let me leave it at that. This particular video, I am very glad that I have been able to decode something which no one in the world, with as simple as this particular stone image, Shila, has been able to do. So I feel divinity has helped me, my voice of silence has helped me, my understanding maths, physics, chemistry, or understanding the concept completely A to Z has made my understanding of divine wisdom of Vedas, Upanishads much more clearly in the light of modern sciences. So let's bridge between modern languages and ancient languages and give the world a wisdom which nobody can find, as the time has come for revival of the ancient Indian era of truthful, honest science. So with that, let me say thank you very much. It was a pleasure talking to you.